Since we understood now how to the formula of Newton and Lagrange, we can write a script for them in MATLAB. So now let's start with Newton method for MATLAB interpolation. Now the general formula is P1 plus P2 times x1 x minus x1 plus until Pn x minus x1 times until x minus xn minus 1. So this is the general formula for Newton method. Now P1 is the function of fx1 or y, and P2 is function of both x2 and x1, and it's equal to fx2 minus fx1 x2 minus x1. And for P3 it will be function of x3 x2 and x1, so it will be fx3 and fx2 minus fx2 and fx1, and it will be divided by x3 minus x1. Okay, so it will be this value. Also Pn, similarly Pn will be function of xn until to x1. Okay, so it will be xn is xn minus 1 until fx2 plus from fxn minus 1 until x1. Okay, and xn minus x1. Okay, now so we can generalize to be fxi fxg equal fxi minus fxg over xi minus xg. This is for generalization. Okay, now let's go step by step how to write the codes to understand the script for Newton. So we have this example. Okay, so first step, we want to create a code to check that x and y have the same length. So we can initiate n equal length of x, and then if length of y doesn't equal n, then error, and show me that x and y must have the same length, end. Okay, so this is the first step. Second step, we want to create matrix. This matrix in order to put the values of b. Okay, so b, b1, b2 until b n minus 1. Okay, so we should have a matrix of n times n and replace it with the first order with y. Okay, and the remaining will be until n minus 1. Okay, so first we call this b, zeros, n and n. So this function will create this matrix. Then P1, okay, so this one replace the first column, all trace and first column by y. If you remember from the last lesson, we this is used for regression. This code is to make sure all vectors in vertical column. So if you submit it, if you put the order in horizontal, so it will convert to vertical. If you write them in vertical, so it will be the same vertical. So this one will replace. So now the first column become this one. So we got this matrix. Okay, then now we can calculate y in the matrix in specific locations only. We don't want to calculate y, p for all. So we want to calculate here, here for the second column. So for the first column, this is B naught, this is B1, this is B2, this is B3, and this is B4. For B1, okay, we want and we call this rows, each row I1, I2, I3, I4, I5, and G1, G2, G3, G4. So we want only this location. This location is 1, 2, this is 2, 2, this is 3, 2, this is 4, 2, and then 1, 3, 2, 3, the location 3, 3. Here is we have 1, 4, and 2, 3. Okay, and here we have 1, 5. Okay, so sorry, this is one should be 1, 4 by mistake. This should be 1, 4. Okay, so now in order to make this, to create this matrix, okay, we first create G for columns. Okay, create G for columns from 2 until n, because we want to start from here, okay, from the second column. So for each column J, we want to relate I for rows from 1 until n minus j plus 1. Okay, so this will give me only the rows until previous one. So this one will cancel, and when you go for the first, for example, for the first one, it will be all, because here it will be 0. Then here 1, so it will be go one step. It will go back one step, and here it will go back 2 step. Okay, so until n is the number. This is number of n. Okay, minus j related column plus 1. Okay, so when you apply this, only this for each column, only this will be follows. Okay, then now calculate b for 1 for ij for the location. This is 1, 2, 2, 3. Okay, it equal to p 1 plus I minus 1 comma j minus 1 minus p I comma j minus 1. This is to calculate the function for the previous one over x I minus I plus j minus 1 minus xi. So to perform this loop in MATLAB, you can start for j equal 2 to n, from 2 until the length of MATLAB, the matrix, and then relate. So we can say from I equal 1 until n minus j plus 1, then calculate p I j equal p I plus 1 and j minus 1 minus p I j minus 1 divided by overall x I plus j minus 1 minus xi, then end, because we have 2, 4 here. Okay, so what will happen if we do this? So let's go in detail what will happen. Now we have the first matrix. Then when we start, so the first column, we create this one. Okay, for this one, okay, we create the second one, then third one, then fourth one. Okay, then it will go for the second second column, then we'll go for columns until the matrix, final matrix, become like this. Okay, so this will be the piece. So this is with a p node, p1, p2, and p3, p4, 0. So we don't have p4 here. So now, okay, we finished. We created already a piece. So now we want to create another loop for x minus x1 until x minus xn minus 1. Okay, that will be multiplied to p. So here we can mention this x as xt equal 1, and then yi equal p times 1 minus 1. Okay, just this is the initial values. This is the initial values will be replaced later. So now for g from 1 until n minus 1, then xt will be xt, okay, times xi minus xj. Okay, we finish this step. Then we can then find خلاص. Okay, we find a y. The y for interpolation will be yi equal yi is the first value, plus p1 comma j plus 1 times xt end. So this is the full script. Okay, I think now it's easy for you to follow it, how why we create each one. Okay, and once you create a function, so now we can make Newton interpolation. This I named this my name, then put the x, put the y, and then put 5. So the answer will be given as 40 directly.